Hello there, and I'm continuing what I was doing in the last video with that bistro, and this time I have Sponza, and this is something that I'm going to be maintaining just for my own sake, so yeah, I got it from the same person. I got it from Casual Effects. I got it from his website, and this had supplied with it, textures. It had maybe a bump map, maybe a specular map, definitely a diffuse map, and if a thing required it, maybe like an alpha mask. And I've been going through and creating my own workflow to making this proper, as it were. With all of the research that I've done for game development things and how to work with the Unreal Engine and just things here and there that I've been reading, I've wanted to implement just to prove that I know how to do it. Because I don't really have much of a resume. I don't really have much of a piece of paper that says I know how to do shit. But I know how to do a lot of shit. God damn it. So I wanted to kind of document it, and that's kind of what this is. So when I imported this, I told it to create some material instances to cut down on shader cost, because you only need, basically just, one shader, which is generally set up for everything else. And I forget what I did here. This is a whole thing right here. But yeah, basically, you have the one shader that controls everything in the instances, fork off of that, and that cuts down on stuff, basically resources, just to put it simply. So you have the material instances, like this floor, and you can see I have it set up for a base map, metallic, normal map, and I created a thing called an SRA packed. I know there are packed textures, and what packed textures basically are you will have roughness, a specular, maybe an ambient occlusion, maybe a displacement. You have all of these different things that are grayscale. They don't need RGB. They just need one channel. So basically what you do is, with the spec that I made here, so it's SRA, so it's specular. Then I duplicate that, duplicate it, delete the original background, go into blending options, and specular is going to be in the red channel. Then I have roughness. I'm going to put that in the green channel because I read a thing saying that certain compression algorithms favor green, and the roughness is kind of used a little bit more than the specular in the way the Unreal Engine does materials. So I kind of wanted most of the bits to go to the green channel. And you can see the green channel. And then the A part of SRA is ambient occlusion, because I couldn't think of anything else that I use in these materials. And the program I use to generate my materials has it, so I might as well. So that's a packed SRA, and then you save that as a PNG, and that's what you bring into the Unreal Engine. Let's go back to that. So I've been going through and doing that with each of the materials for all of these things, and the best way for me to tell if I already did a material or not is to go in the ray tracing debug roughness. Like, yep, that looks right, that looks right. Does that look right? Did I do, oh, that's column C. Oh, this uses the column. So what's already in the master material is the roughness for the roof is, I think, what I have there, or the SRA, the pack texture for the roof. So anything that looks like the roof is something I haven't gotten to yet. So Yeah, it's a good thing I noticed that, because if this is column C, then I'm going to put it in column A. No, I'm going to make it this column C, because some of the things are split, and there's like two of them. I don't know how this object was created, but whatever. You know, I could go through there, and I could make all of these column C, and I can make it look good again. So I'm going to do that real quick, see if I see any other column C's that are the other column C. I guess these are all column C too. Might as well. I know I could do this, you know, en masse, but I kind of like the time that I'm doing something mindless just so I could think about other stuff that I'm going to be doing next. Because, you know, I'm not really... This doesn't require much thought for me to do this. So, you know, this is time better spent so I could think about other things. Like, I have a couple more textures that I gotta do. I gotta pack those. And if the version of the Unreal editor that I'm using is this. What's this? That's Arch. I think I have Arch. Is a special NVIDIA version that has DLSS built in. And you could enable that, and it's neat. And if I wasn't limited by that, because that is a limitation, because there's weird stuff with this. It's like you need to have this special... scroll down, I passed it. You need to have this special NGX application ID. Don't ask me. You have to like email NVIDIA, get approval for this and that. And I figured out a way to make it work for this project, which is a demo project that I put my own maps in and my own objects in. So I just kind of use this over and over. But okay, basically what I'm getting at is I know a best practice kind of is to, when you have a map, just, you know, asset action, export or migrate. Yeah, migrate it to another thing, just because that automatically only takes what that map needs into the new project. You know, it's a housekeeping operation thing, and I can't do that with this, which is annoying, because that would make what I build out of this a whole lot smaller. But you know, it's whatever. But I wish I could do that. That would be nice. But I'm going to have to deal with distributing, if I distribute anything I make with this version, being big, which I guess is fine, whatever. If I compress this, it should be... Well, the last time I exported this, I built it as a project for Windows, and I was able to get it down to a gig, which I guess isn't that bad. Do I already have bricks? Which one's bricks? What's that? Bricks. What's bricks inst? Did I do that? No, I don't think I did any of these. No, I did. Oh, I don't have an SRA. Okay, so let's do an SRA for bricks. Let's close shader map, and I think I already did bricks. No? Doesn't look like I did bricks. What is bricks? Does bricks have arch bump, brick spec, sort by name? So is bricks wall? Did I call that wall? Am I being dumb? I think I called it wall. I should have called them their texture name, but whatever, fine. Did I build this the way I built everything else? Because I like consistency, and I don't think I did that with this. I might have to rebuild this, and I guess that's fine. Yeah, let's just rebuild this. No, I don't want to save. Okay, so we have Bricks displacement. We don't have bricks bump spec. So we have bricks bump. Bricks bump. Okay, cool. I like to start with the bump if it has a bump for a reason here. I'm going to make it a dynamic plane, put it on tessellation, put it on displace, and now we're going to place a displacement from a normal, which will make a displacement out of that generated normal. And then we do a normal from a displacement. This is going to make sense, don't worry. Even though we already have a quote displacement that was, already provided to us. Oh, I just had this backwards. That's fine. That happens sometimes. It's good. So the reason I do this is so that's if I displace it with that. And if I use the original, it still doesn't look as good. But I tweak it. This is going to make sense. It gives me a little bit more control over things. Because we know bricks, that's fucked up looking. So, let's make that like 75. Yeah. 75, 0. Let's try something like that. And do that. Do a sharpen on that. Do a sharpen on this too. It's looking a little bit better. Let's make this 66 and 33. There you go. So that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? And the reason why I preview what this looks like with the displacement and is because I have control over, if I have control over the displacement, then I'm able to more accurately see what the normal map is representing, if that makes sense. Because the other way around, I'm given a displacement and then I have the normal. So this lets me have a more quote accurate representation of how it should look. So let's get where's the original bricks? Bricks diffuse. Bricks color map. Need him, and we need that. Need a metalness. There is no metal. This is fine. But no. Contrast up. This is just how I did it. I know you could do it a lot of different ways. I just contrast up, detail alpha down, just to make black for this preview, because I already have a small black texture that I'm using for in Unreal Engine to save on space and stuff. So we got that there, and none of that will be reflected in this preview yet. What do I need here? That should be generated off of this. Let's put him down there. Roughness, that's what I need. Let's get a roughness off of the diffuse. I make the roughness off the albedo. And let's see what the spec looks like. That's fine. Let's put this into PBR. So now we have the good normal. That looks good. We have the roughness, which I have to adjust a little bit. The metalness, which is black. Looks pretty good. And then once you put that back on. Now it looks a little weird in this, but it looks good once you get into Unreal Engine. You have it ray traced and all that. Let's get the AO. Can't really tell anything with that. But, I mean, I included anyway in the SRA because what else am I going to put in there? The material system doesn't need anything else. It's whatever. It's looking good so far. So let's save it in case things crash. And this was bricks. Let's call this what it's called. It's called bricks. So we want to save a where's bricks bump? Bricks bump norm. Yes, I want to replace it. That's fine. And save it as a 16-bit because otherwise you get color banding in your normal. Save this, even though I'm not really going to be using it. Sort by, did I? I'm so confused. What date are you actually sorting by? Because it's not helping me. I'm just saying. I did bricks kind of late, didn't I? Column. Arch. Where's... What am I looking for? Oh yeah, bricks. Where's the bricks norm? It was right there. Bricks. Displacement. I might go back and save all the displacements as 16-bit, but it's fine. Because I'm not really using them for this. And then this as Beetle. And we have all that. Save. And so I know some of those bricks can be re-imported essentially. Yeah, that changed how that looked. Is that saved? Yeah, normal map. Cool. I think I need to tweak that roughness. We'll see. I already had bricks? That's already packed? I mean, I must have, because I had that. I'm so confused right now. Because that thing's bricks, but it's not looking like the right kind of bricks. And it's not picked here, so... whatever. We'll do it live. Sort by date. This is torture. Okay. For some reason it's not updating the dates on some of these. Windows, sort your shit. Bricks, 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 bricks. So what's this one all about? Let's just do that for now. I'm sure it's fine. Okay. That one needs to be done. That one needs to be done. I thought I did those. That's vase hanging. Do I have vase hanging? What does that use? That uses vase hanging one. Vase round bump metal. Vase round bump norm. Okay, so I must have vase round bump spec 1. Spec 2. Vase round bump. But there's vase hanging. I must have called it that. Yeah, I have to work on my naming of things. I grossly apologize. Just makes things more confusing for me later. So I already have that, so why aren't you using this? Yeah, all those look right now. Okay, cool. Is there anything else? Just using the roof texture, you got that door over there. All these look set right. I have to do these poles and this door. What's this door use? Details. I think the pole uses details too. Nope, that uses its own thing. So details. I know I didn't fuck with details yet. So, details spec. There's no details bump. Okay, so we're gonna have a time. New color. Details. Let's get the original spec in here too, just in case, because I need to see what this ends up looking like. Dynamic plane. Tessellate. Okay. That did an okay job making but I don't know what it's doing with that thing on the bottom there. That thing on the bottom is flat. I am sorry. So, oh, what was it that I did to do that? Okay, let's have some fun here. Figuring out how to make a displacement. I could do that. Or I kind of like them up all the way. Okay. Now this down here, let's like pick that and I don't care about being accurate or anything with these. It's fine. I don't like that it's picking up what it thinks are height differences and light differences on this. So that's not what those are. That's fine, you know. They're like, let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So what do I have selected here? Okay, let's make a new layer. Okay. And look, it's fine. Everything is fine. Nah, I'll just do that. I mean, that's what it is. And I don't know, can I like... Oh, that hurts my eyes. I don't like looking at that. I don't want to look at that. Just do that. Kind of like blend it in. Look, I don't know what you're about, but either, I guess burn. No. Highlights. Okay, do you want to dodge maybe? I'd drive a Dodge. You're not really doing anything. Oh, look, I'm seriously brain damaged. It's okay. I don't care. No, that looks shit. That looks horrible. That's gonna do things to things that I just don't want. Let's just go there. Yeah, fine. Flatten. I'm for your file flattening. Let's call this disp thing for now. And here. See what happens if I make that a mask. Yeah, see what it did down there. Okay, so what if, what if? Just load that as a display, because it looks really close to what a displacement should look like. I mean, let's be serious here. So that kind of did a thing, didn't it? It looks gross. Okay. So let's make a normal from a displacement off of that, and then a normal from a displacement from a normal. Okay. That's doing a whole thing now, isn't it? So just gotta take this and okay. I'm gonna get complicated here and do a displacement from a diffuse, which I probably should have just kept. It's fine. And a normal from a displacement. And then we are going to blend normals and get a displacement off of that. Okay. So then I'll be able to see it in two different ways, which might be helpful. And this should let me soften things up a little bit. And it's fine. It's n add. Okay, if we keep on 50, that's what n add looks like. There's n overlay, which kind of did a thing. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Greater angle. Yeah, that's gross. Pure rotation. It's also gross. UDN. Don't know what that means. Don't like it. Unity. I like standard at 25. And let's do what we did for the other thing. 33, 66. And since that's a blend of those, sharpen. And it really doesn't look bad. Yeah, let's just go with it. So this is the final normal right here. Norm. I'm a little hungry. 16-bit. Save. Cool. So let's go to PBR and say, what do we have? We have a specular that was here. Displacement. Organizing it all. And this is details. We need, okay, there's metal on this one, like 100%. So I might have to go and manually tweak that a little bit. Let's get a roughness. And that is specular, metalness, diffuse, right here. And the roughness should be generated from that. And roughness, give me that. Okay, let's take a look at the roughness, or the metalness. think I could generate my own I have an idea for how it should look. Let's see if I could do it with just filters, because that's always fun to figure out. Look how compressed all that is. Yeah, because that's definitely metal. This part right here, I could... Nah. Black is not metal. White is very metal. Okay. Let's just make this bigger. Jesus Christ. I'm not liking what's going on there. I mean, it's a start. I don't know what things it's going to keep, though. Let's just see here. Metal things, whatever. Okay, so you have the metalness, and now let's see what happens if we load the mask. The claw. Okay. I think I know what's going on here. Oh, that looked good for a second. Oh, that's because I'm generating it off of this. Aha. Okay. And that looks kind of neat. So, since it's a mask, the whiter the area. Okay, I'm feeling what's going on here, I think now. So let's get white. No, I want like an actual frickin' brush. Because none of this is metal. Cool. Okay. Don't like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, middle thing too. Yeah, I dig it. Okay, so that's if I use this texture, which really blacks that out because of this being so blacked out. But if I use the original color, get that. Okay, so let's shine some light on the situation. Yeah, I think I'm sticking with the original color map. Okay. Details, Norm. Give me the details, Norm. I don't know who that is. It's a voice. This will be interesting to see how this turns out. That's all I need for now. Okay. Okay, so it's still SRA packed, so let's do that. That's 1024 by 1024, that's, yeah. 24. And S. R. Let me check something first here, because I am, let's see. So we have vase hanging, which uses Sponza 1 base, which uses an SRA, and it uses a metallic. Okay, so we still need the metallic and the SR. Okay, just checking, because that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use that as the base for this. Sponza 1 base, yes, cool. Let's get an A, please. Okay, so I need to get a displacement from a normal, which is that, and then ambient occlude off of that. Which I don't even think the engine uses this. It's fine. It's whatever. AO. Here, have an A. Okay. We need that. We need that. We need that. And we need that. Okay, so normal, use that. Metallic, use that. SRA packed, use that. And let's see that all imported correctly, because sometimes Unreal Engine thinks that this is a normal, and you know, I don't blame them. It looks like a normal to me too. That looks cool. I'll go with it. That was references when I'm looking. Yeah, that is what I was looking for. Okay, so we have this, this, and this. Where are these guys at? 73. Oh, you're over here. Okay, so you're already done. Let's go back into the roughness view. Are you also details? You are also details. So here, have details. What are you? What are you even supposed to be? I don't know what you are. You're just called material. Here, I'll call you details. Nope, you're not details. You are definitely not details. Okay. Okay, bricks. Bricks inst is the one I fixed. Clicking on you. Thank you. Why do you have bricks? Where? I don't. I'm not in charge. What are you? Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna have to figure out what that one is. Everything looks fine on this level. There's nothing in the basement, so there's nothing over here. There's this internal part. Sealing? Get sealed, bro. I think I'm basically almost done with this. Which would mean I'm almost done with it. That's all it means. Honestly, it's never done, is it? Everything looks almost right here. Who are you? You could go to bed. Gross. Okay. I don't know why Cinema 4D is doing that to me right now. I don't feel like figuring it out. That's all good. Really, everything looks fine now. Yeah, I think everything's all figured out here. So, let's take it into full screen. It's a little slow. I have a way to fix that because I'm a smart person. Okay. So, like I was describing, this is a DLSS project, which means this is using DLSS right now, and that's what's making this have playable frame rates. There are ray traced reflections, ray traced shadows, ray traced global illumination, and all of those textures, which are, I mean, as PBR as you could get. And yeah, so you have it already has this, you know, this little interface built in, which, you know, you can adjust the settings with. You can see if I put it in performance mode, it's pretty playable. Well, it's only playable if I hold down the click. I don't know what I think because I have the Unreal Editor open, it's a little weird. But this is what's so cool about being able to use DLSS like this. Is I can go to off, and let's use no anti-aliasing. None. Look at this. This is no anti-aliasing. You would think this should be the fastest way to do this, right? There's no anti-aliasing. This should be fine. Nope. And look at this. It's horrible. Okay, so you're like, well, just use Unreal Engine's built-in temporal. Okay, let's use temporal at 100%, right? Look at this. Unplayable. Ugh. Okay. What about temporal at 50? Looks like crap, doesn't it? Look at this. Look at this. Look how blurry it is. It's going nice and fast, though. I got a 2070 Super, not overclocked right now, for stability reasons, obviously. No, but it looks like crap. Okay, temporal upsample. Still looks a little chunky now. But that's why we got DLSS. I could put it in quality mode and it's faster than no anti-aliasing, and it looks amazing. There's really no there's no temporal issues going on. I mean, with that light, but I think that's just because the material against the black background. That could be trained out probably if I knew what I was doing. I could put in balanced, and if I wasn't running Unreal Engine in the background, this would be hitting 60 probably. I'm not going to test that because time. And obviously you can put in performance mode and it looks better than 50% temporal or TAA. Runs better. Looks just fine. I mean, look at that. Let's go upstairs. Look, I like how I'm smart. I figured out how to make a light move back and forth. That took a little figuring out to do. All of this other graphic stuff was easy for me, but you know, figuring out the blueprint that made the thing do the thing, that was the time. Is it gonna go through me? Yeah, it goes through me. But yeah, you know, you got your global illumination going on, your perfect shadows, and this is just beautiful. And you saw the way my approach was to doing textures, and there's a little bit of artistic interpretation that goes on with it. Obviously, if I was able to do light scans and all that other stuff, it would be more accurate. But you know, you got to work with what you got to work with. And a cool thing that I figured out last night was you know, the original model for this lion head, pretty low poly. And let's get out of that so I could show you what buttons am I pressing now. Yeah, the original lion head of this is pretty low polygon and pretty flat looking, and I just wasn't happy with what I was getting out of just a normal map on it. So in Cinema 4D, which won't open right now, I don't know, probably some weird Windows 10 Insider fast ring issue right now. But what I figured out last night was taking, using, you know, shader map, getting a displacement out of, you know, the normal. And I could close this because I don't need that right now. And taking that displacement in the Cinema 4D, isolating just this object in Cinema 4D, doing some funky business with the displacement on the original mesh, and then using subdivision, smooth subdivision on it, and basically restoring what I think might be a pretty close approximation to the original high poly mesh from the low detail mesh, which I'm proud of myself. And probably the game engine isn't happy with me, but I don't care. You know, I'm sorry you have Intel integrated graphics and these polygons make your deferred renderer sad, but I'm sorry, these are draw calls that need to be here right now because they look good when they are ray traced. Yeah, and I'm also sorry for Intel users that that require bilinear texture filtering because the iGPU in the optimization guide says you got to use bilinear and you got to use. If you read a lot of this stuff that's going on, you could have almost zero faith in Intel graphics actually aiming for anything modern. Hopefully they do it, but if they're saying you got to use bilinear filtering and all this other crap, you know that they could try harder. But yeah, anyway, I'm not here to rant. I'm here to show this off, and that was fun to figure out. Let's put a point light next to the metal, because why not? Yeah, that was fun. I'll probably, next time I'm doing a dumb little project, I will probably record that too. If this ends up on YouTube, I will have in the description links to where you could grab different versions of this. I will be exporting... Why is this all low res? It'll figure itself out, whatever. I'll have it'll be an archive with 3 different versions of this. One with all the RTX effects enabled, just like you're seeing right here. And then another binary with what's it called? Light propagation volumes and shadow mapped shadows and screen space reflections. And there will be another one with, if we go into the options here, there'll be another one with screen space illumination for the GI. So 3 different ways to view this scene. I believe if you run the RTX one, it will just default back if you don't have RTX, so don't worry. But check out all 3 of the versions if you download this project. And I think I might. No, I can't. I was like, maybe I'll include the project file, but that's complicated because you also need to have the binary that I'm using if you want the DLSS goodness. And I don't know how broken this project would be if I were to, you know, export it out into another Unreal version. But if you want to mess with this version, I will be glad to give you the project. I am all about giving out my source because I'm not embarrassed about the work that I do at all. It's a learning experience. If someone else with more knowledge than me looks at this and says, you could have done this, this is wrong, whatever, then I'm learning. And that's cool because we're all learning. I just like how I put the metalness on these banners, these fabric banners. They're also cloth shaded, but I don't know how good the cloth shader works with the ray traced shadows and all of that. Like, I would expect it to be going through this cloth a little bit more. It's confusing, but yeah. I will see you all later. Mwah.